Every life carries a story of beginnings, of struggles, of divine moments that shape destiny. Some are born into comfort, others rise from places where hope seems distant. But every now and then, a life emerges that can only be explained by grace. From humble beginnings in Ifo, Ogun State, to a life devoted to faith, service, and spiritual leadership, this is the journey of a man whose story continues to inspire many. A man many have come to know as the Man Battalion.
So my name is Man Battalion. So if an host you encamp against me, they have their size to meet.
Man Battalion.
Pastor Israel Olajumoke was born on 3rd March 1967 in Ifo, Ogun State, Nigeria. He was born to Pa Matthew Olajumoke and Muslimat Olajumoke. His early life was marked by humble beginnings and unusual circumstances that would later shape a spiritual journey. Raised in a background influenced by different religious traditions, his path would eventually lead him to a defining encounter with Christ that transformed the course of his life.
My early experience cannot be overemphasized, but I can briefly say that I'm a vessel of grace and mercy. My background could not be said to be that palatable. Born into a non-practicing Muslim family, with the root of traditional worship, my grandfather was an herbalist. My father was a Muslim converted to White Garment Church and died there as a prophet. I wasn't raised in a marriage, but I knew that I was born by my mother, who was probably the second wife of my father, out of the 5 recognized wives. Not too much parental care, except for the compassion of the mother, who had no capacity par excellence to raise children, but was willing. That exposed us to the streets, and God was with me, even in Egypt.
In 1995, destiny spoke through the ministry of Bishop David Oyedepo. He encountered the transforming power of the gospel. That moment marked the beginning of a life fully surrendered to God's call.
It made me come in contact with Bishop David Oyedepo in 1995, who happens to be my first and ever pastor. And I don't think that can change again. He preached and I got converted. And here we are today. I'm also a missionary, pulling people out of darkness.
Within months of salvation, the call to ministry became undeniable. What began as a stirring within his spirit soon became a lifelong assignment. By the 11th month after his conversion, he had enrolled in Bible school, preparing for the journey that lay ahead.
Destiny has a way of speaking when it is time. So I was sensing that something was drawing me closer to the altar. By the 11th month, I was in the Bible school, 11th month of my conversion. And one of those days I was reading my note from the Bible school, and I got in contact with Hebrews 11 verse 8, where Abraham was called and he left, not knowing where he went. That's the beginning of the journey. And it was a mystery when by December 95, Bishop Oyedepo said, how many of you want to go as offerings on donation? So mine wasn't an application. It was a beckoning. And I was one of the people that went out. And I could say I was the crudest, most raw among them. How they selected me, I can't explain. But I know predestination brought me here.
The early days of ministry were not without trials. Leaving home with very little, he stepped into ministry with faith as his only certainty. Through seasons of hardship, uncertainty, and sacrifice, one thing remained constant: the sustaining presence of God.
You know, he told Joshua, be courageous. So even when I was passing through hunger, it was fun. Through the valley of the shadow of death, his presence was with me. His rod and his staff. So the journey wasn't a journey of emotions. It has been a journey of inspiration, divine direction, instruction, correction unto righteousness. It can't be rosy. It couldn't have been rosy. But I wasn't par excellence feeling it. It's now I look back that I knew that, okay, we actually went through things. I left with 30 naira. 1995, I left my hometown with a wife. And I think my wife just conceived of the second child, a child. That's enough, a challenge on his own. And the woman you are carrying along does not even understand your calling. Already you have entered your hungry season. No major assignment in your hand. And you have to go and face that. Thank God for my in-law, who has gone to be with the Lord now. Mommy Tosi, Mrs. Akin Paul, and the husband, who is in his own ministry in Bauchi now. They were the one who brought us to Living Faith. And we have to go and stay with them for like 2 weeks before we got our own one room, one window, not plastered.
Over the years, Pastor Olajumoke faithfully served across several branches of the Living Faith Church Commission, impacting lives and strengthening congregations across Nigeria. His pastoral journey includes 1996 Living Faith Church, Abeokuta, Ogun State; 1997 LFC, Ikeneremo, Ogun State; 1999 LFC, Mina, Niger State; 2000 LFC, Okene, Kogi State; 2002 LFC, Wukari, Taraba State; 2003 LFC, Agbaro, Delta State; 2005 LFC, Kefi; 2007 LFC, Eket, Akwa Ibom; 2011 LFC, Ologuneru, Ibadan, Oyo State; 2013 LFC, Eligbam, Oriaze, Port Harcourt; 2014 Pape, Abuja; 2017 LFC, Obamtokun, Oyo State; 2018 Pasia, Bayelsa; 2021 LFC, Ekboma, Edo State; 2023 LFC, Jukwi, Abuja; 2025 LFC, Lokoja, till date. But beyond the assignments, there were moments that confirmed the divine hand upon his life. Moments that revealed that his ministry was not merely a profession, but a calling backed by heaven. One such moment came through an unexpected miracle within his own family.
I just got home. I was also studying. And my brother came and I said, his name was Jalili. Now it's Peter Olajumoke. He was having epilepsy before I got born again. He wasn't having any until his final exam in secondary school. He was a footballer, played for the state, has gone around the nation. He was about becoming an international footballer when this thing struck. And my mother couldn't help. She went around according to what she knew. Traditional healing, Islam, all efforts. But just one word from me. And I said, I curse you, Satan. 31 years have passed. Epilepsy is gone. That's a clear evidence that number one, the Jesus Christ I found is not a religion. It's a reality in human existence and life. Number two, there's one strange hand on my life that my mother cannot explain. that I cannot explain, that my relations cannot explain. So I was smart enough in the spirit to pick that there's something strange about me. I got it.
Years later, during a testimony service in church, a remarkable experience would give birth to a name that would soon define his ministry.
God inspired it from a testimony. You see, the word that we hear is a personality is on his own. I know it's that person. The Bible says is God. John 1 from verse 1 to 5. The word is a spirit, and that spirit is God. And has capacity to appear any day, anywhere. And when you have related with the word enough, and the word begins to be part and parcel of you, the word can manifest itself in different dimensions, mysteriously. I'm a preacher of the word, and a practitioner indeed, and a son of the word. So as a pastor, a true pastor eats the word, lives by the word, becomes the word. The word can wear your garments to do whatsoever he wants to do in people's life. That becomes your honor with God. So in testimony one day, Papi, a brother, shared a testimony that he went to war in his village, because I always tell them that we are one family, joint heirs with God, that you don't go to war alone. There's a spirit in church called the spirit of judgment made perfect. When you go to war, a saint shouldn't go alone. His altar should go with him. The spirit of his pastor should go with him. The foundation of the ministry he worships should be with him. All by one spirit. That has been my advocacy in the faith. And that young man said, I went to war in my village, and a troop of evil were coming at me. And I was helpless, and suddenly I saw my pastor appear. It was a young man that used the word, like one man battalion. That when he appeared, my pastor divided into numerous parts in one man and came against the host of darkness and destroyed all of them with me and took me to the next phase. I think the congregation caught it. From that day, everybody began to call me Man Battalion. And the Holy Ghost interpreted it to me in my language, which he usually does. And you could depict that from the word of John the Revelator when he said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So my name is Man Battalion. So if an host you encamp against me, they have their sides to meet.
Behind every calling is a family that shares the weight of the assignment. For Pastor Olajumoke, that strength has been found in the unwavering support of his wife.
This is where I want to thank God for my wife, for also being predestinated, separated, and selected. That's where destiny becomes a mystery and marriage becomes an assignment. My wife was engraced by God to take up the challenge. Young lady that I started dating at the age of 19 when she was a Muslim too. When we were both raw. But God blessed her with strange humility to follow and submit. She went through pains, human pain. But there's a spirit of predestination inside her that strengthened her, number one, with humility, number two, with submission, number three, with endurance. So I thank God for the life of Bolanle Blessing Olajumoke. I gave her blessing because she was there to endure those pains. I leave children for her. I go to the field. She trained them all alone. That's why they are very close to her today. She endured the pain. She saw sickness, including lump of the breast that could have become cancer, God took it away. Now today, Bolanle will be 55 by May, having journeyed with me since 1989 till date. And it's been mysterious. It's God that helps us. Being father to many, I can say, is grace. When grace comes, all the Adamic self-centeredness of man is swallowed in grace. You are no longer living to yourself. You are living for God, who is actually the real father of all. So the fatherhood of God inside you speaks to your generation. The burden is light when God is bearing it for you. That's how I've been able to go.
Now at 59, the journey is one marked not just by years, but by grace. Looking back, his heart is filled with gratitude for the mysterious hand of God that has guided every step.
I'm most grateful to Him for predestination. From my youth have they afflicted me. Psalm 129. Now may Israel say. But today you can also say that everyone behind my affliction is accursed. To the end of that verse, it said, none say, blessed be them. God has fought for me. I'm grateful that God is my collar. God is my defense. God is my everything. I have by my own self done nothing. Predestination mysteriously gave me all that I am today. So nothing is anything to me.
Beyond the years of ministry, beyond the titles and assignments, lies a deeper desire, the legacy he hopes to leave behind.
Fulfilling destiny. That people will look at my story of being made and they will be encouraged to live a selfless life and live for their generation. I've often said it, I don't want to be the richest man in the world, but I want to be one of the most influential. That make people see life as simple in Christ and follow Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, and redefine creation for better, away from this satanic pollution brought by the devil from Eden that makes humanity deviate from the reality of divinity in them. God, a man, is the owner of creation, gave it to man to enjoy from Eden. How did we come to this point of corruption where hatred thrives, where self-centeredness thrives, nations against nations? A man's enemy are members of his household because of greed. True love can't be found again. People say they are married, but they are married for things, not for God. If the woman doesn't have a child, then the man doesn't love her. If the man doesn't have all the riches in the world, the woman is discouraged.
And for the generations rising after him, his prayer is simple but powerful. A prayer that no one connected to this grace will miss their place in destiny.
My prayer for you all, as my lovers and the upcoming generation, and even my seniors that have believed in my ministry. My parents have gone to be with the Lord, they left for me, my siblings. I say I have senior sisters, I have senior relations, cousins, and all of you around me in the church who are my family, is that none of us will miss our place in destiny. You won't miss your steps. You won't miss your inheritance. There's a crown you were born to wear. It won't drop into the mud. You won't live your days in agony. You will eat the fruit of your labor. You won't labor and another man will eat. You will marry. You will build houses. You will raise your children. You will see destiny fulfilled in grand style. Creation is given to humanity. I say it in my language. You will be a god unto the Pharaoh in creation. Dominate. Fulfill destiny in grand style. You won't fall. You won't falter. Above all, blessed is the man whose transgression is covered, unto whom the Lord imputed no no iniquity in the class of David. In March, you will see new mercy.
From humble beginnings to a life of impact across cities and nations, the story of Pastor Israel Olajumoke stands as a testimony of grace, calling, and unwavering faith. A life that reminds us all that when destiny speaks and faith responds, one life can indeed become a battalion.